What is up, guys? I'm so excited to be live with you. And if you are watching this live, you're going to see that the title is It's Our Anniversary because it is exactly 1 year since I put out my second book, Release. While Holding On is Holding You Back. So I'm super excited to just talk about the topic of release tonight. And make sure you watch until the end or check the comments because I'm going to have welcome, Ryan. I'm going to have an announcement at the end, which is something that I've been hoping would be ready. Welcome, Kevin, by tonight. So, yes, it's our anniversary. It's 1 year since Release was put out to the world. And I can honestly say that earlier today, when I was writing a LinkedIn post just to be able to share with people, hey, it's been 1 year, I thought about it. And I realized, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Yes, I thought about it and I realized I have changed so much in just 365 days. I remember who I was December 4th of last year, and I look at who I am now, December 4th of 2024, and it's a completely different person looking back at me, and I'm so thankful. So thankful. There's a couple things that I'm thankful for. December 4th, it is a great day. Why do you say that though? Is it because the book was launched or is it something else? But in any case, I'm just giving God thanks today. And my family. Let's start with my family. I'm grateful for my family because last year when the book launch and all of the details were being yes, it's a multiple. Okay. Multiple books. Just reading the comments here. But yeah, so last year, as I was drawing close to getting the book published and released, all of that, my family was so incredibly supportive. I could not have gotten the book out if it wasn't for my sister, who's a graphic designer and helped me to format the book. The stuff that she was pointing out, I honestly, as a writer, I don't notice those things. They're just not top of mind for me. But she was like, nope, this word needs to be here because, you can't end off the line with this. And she designed the cover for me. Then I had my brother-in-law, I had my sister helping me to set up on the day of. And it was just like a true family affair. And today, they actually got me a cake to celebrate the fact that it's been 1 year since this book has been put out to the world. So I'm excited. We'll probably do like a little photo shoot after this, and I'll share the pictures with you guys here on Instagram and possibly on YouTube where I post this live afterwards. But today, what I wanted to share, and like I said, at the end, I will make an announcement just regarding something else, but just stick around to the end. And I don't think this is going to be a super long live just because I have all of my points, I have everything set out that I want to talk to you guys about tonight. But feel free to put in the chat what you are getting as we are going through. So the LinkedIn post, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So the LinkedIn post that I shared earlier today on LinkedIn, I broke down 3 main takeaways that we're able to take from either the book, which I have a copy right here, and if you head over to my website, which is now up, really grateful that it's now up. But if you head over to my website, you will see that it's not available on my website, but it is available on Amazon. So I will have the information, or in fact, if you just type in the name, Release While Holding On is Holding You Back, Stephanie Kerr, you will see it on Amazon, right? So that is the information regarding the book, but I pulled out 3 lessons that anybody could be able to apply to their lives regarding releasing and letting things go. So number 1, letting go ushers us into greater alignment. And what I wrote down, I won't read it just for the sake of like this conversation, but when you're out of alignment. And even if we talk about our bodies, when something's misaligned, you feel it. Either you're going to have some pain, or there's going to be some discomfort, or you won't be able to move like you normally would. There's going to be something that tells you something is off. And it's the same thing in life. When we are supposed to let go of something, but we're not letting go of it, there's tension, there's friction, there's misalignment. And when we finally let go, and when we heed what God has been trying to communicate to us, like you need to stop thinking that way, or this person can no longer be in your life, or you need to leave this job, or this season has ended, whatever it may be, whatever the release is, once we let go, the amount of peace that we experience is unparalleled. I cannot tell you how much peace I have experienced in the past. And one thing I'll say, it's not easy. It is not easy to let go of things that we do not want to let go of, but that we know for a fact that God is saying it's time. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, but what I will say is that you have immense amount of peace once you let it go and you trust that what God is asking you to do, he's asking you to do it for a good reason. He's a good father. So that was the very first thing that I shared on LinkedIn. And a practical takeaway is this. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves the greater purpose? Okay, so whatever the greater purpose is, let's say you're building a business. The greater purpose of this business, impacting lives, changing the world, using your gifts, being a leader, whatever it may be, being innovative in this business and taking it to the level that you know it needs to get to. What are you holding on to that is no longer serving the greater purpose? Or let's say it's your life and you're going through and there's people around you who, it's just not working. Whatever it may be, the things that they talk about, the way that they show up, how they're thinking, it's no longer a good fit, but you're holding on because of whatever reason. But once we let go, the peace, it's exactly what the Bible says. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding. You cannot describe and I won't say you can't describe, but sometimes it's just such a rich peace that you begin to walk into that it's absolutely amazing. So that's number one. As we're talking about release, as we're thinking about 1 year since this book was put out to the world, what are some lessons that we can take? And number one is letting go ushers in greater alignment. Number two, and this one is, all of these lessons are things that I've had to walk through. And if you head over to my LinkedIn, it's Stephanie Kerr on LinkedIn. But if you head over there, you will see that one of the very first things that I say is that a mentor years ago, he said, Stephanie, before you give the message, you will have to live the message. And before you write the book, you will have to live the book. And I didn't necessarily know how true that was going to be until I actually started walking out this journey. And I believe that the reason God does that is so that we're not hypocritical in the messages that we come and share. If I'm someone talking about, finances, hopefully my finances are in order. Or if I'm someone talking about marriages, hopefully my marriage isn't falling apart, right? So these messages that God gives us, places on the inside of us, and then tells us to go and share with other people, it's usually because we ourselves have walked through something and are now on the other side able to say, hey, I was where you were or where you are now, and this is what I did to get to the other side, right? So all of these lessons, letting go ushers in greater alignment. I experienced that, personally experienced that. But this second one, shifting from hope to hopelessness, is a choice. It's a choice. And there's a few different characters in this book who I just look at them, and because they are inspired by, just stories that I've seen taking place around me and different things like that, I can honestly say that it's not just the characters, it's also people in the real world who are having to make this decision. Am I going to shift from hopelessness to hope? Because it really is a choice. And again, something that I had to choose for myself, especially earlier this year. Man, when I tell you guys that 2024, it arrived and I was like, God, looking back, I don't know what all that was, but I hope we never have to do that again. Like ever. But shifting from hope to hope, or hopelessness to hope, it is a decision. You could have people around you who are, wanting you to shift your perspective, or wanting you to have joy again, or wanting whatever they could want for you, but you have to want it for yourself. You have to want to shift out of that place of hopelessness and into a place of hope. And again, I won't sit here and say it's easy, but it's a daily decision. And I remember there's a prayer call that I joined. Welcome. There's a prayer call that I'm fortunate to be able to join, and we started meeting about a year ago, and it's every single day, every single afternoon. And I remember earlier in the year, I would join the call and I would be going for my walk at the same time, and I would just be in such a place of like, God, if this is the one thing that I can do today, I'm going to do it. And if this is the one thing I can be consistent in, I'm going to be consistent in this. But getting out of that place of, you know what, nothing is working, and why is everything happening at the same time, and, why did they do this, and why is this the case? I could have stayed in that loop. I could have stayed in that cycle of constantly focusing on what's not working and how things are falling apart. And truthfully, some of the facts were just the facts. It wasn't an easy season, but I had to choose to come out of that place of hopelessness and into hope. And I don't know if I put this in the article, but there was a friend of mine, and she sent me a message top of the year, probably January, February of this year. I can't believe we're in December already. But she said, Steph, we're never without God, so we should never be without hope. We're never without God, so we should never be without hope. And I heard her, and it really resonated with me. And I think at that time, I really needed to be reminded that, Stephanie, if God is with you, which he is, if you're with God, which you are, then you should never be without hope. It doesn't mean the situation you're looking at is easy. It doesn't mean the emotions that come by virtue of being in that position is easy or are easy to deal with. But the hope, that's a choice. It's a choice to be hopeful even in that place. And so that is one thing that we can learn from this book, Release, where holding on is holding you back. And sometimes holding on includes the way that we're thinking about a particular situation. We could be so committed to thinking about a particular situation in a specific way, and that causes us to stay stuck in that place. And that might also be something that God is calling us to let go of. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I want to mention on that second point. Shifting from hopelessness to hope is a choice. I think I'll leave it at that. And number 3, walking in courage conquers fear. Walking in courage conquers fear. Man, y'all, some of the lessons that God has been teaching me have been so incredibly challenging to learn, but I know that it's for my good. I really do know that it is. And walking in courage, conquering fear. Earlier today, I was just talking with God, and I was like, God, give me the courage that I need to be able to do what you're asking me to do. Because it can truly be a huge mountain that's in front of you, and the only thing that is going to be able to remove that mountain or get you to the other side of that mountain is courage. Courage. It conquers fear. I'm actually going to read what I wrote here, okay? It says, one of the most powerful lessons in Release is that the courage that we walk in order to distance ourselves from unhealthy places, people, and perspectives is able to change our entire lives. If you are in a season where you're looking at something that you know needs to be released, but fear of the unknown, fear of other people's opinions, or any other type of fear is holding you back, here is your personal invitation and encouragement to trust God. He knows what he is doing. You, your company, your family, etc. will be okay on the other side of trusting him. And the practical takeaway for this one is asking ourselves, what decision or action am I avoiding because of fear? Often, the next big leap in business and in life comes from facing our fears head on, whether it's trusting your intuition to make that bold move, having a tough conversation with a colleague. Courage is the key to growth. So those are the three takeaways that I wanted to pull out from the book, the topic of the book, which is release today. And I just wanted to leave that with you guys because I truly know that there are, for everyone, there are things that we need to release, and we're still holding on. But I hope that these three lessons, welcome Vernisha, I hope that these three lessons will be able to not just encourage you, but also show you why it's a beautiful thing to release and why holding on really does hold us back. So for the benefit of those who just joined, I'll quickly go over the three lessons that I pulled from the book as we celebrate 1 year of release moving forward. Or that's actually the subtitle of my first book. Release, Why Holding On is Holding You Back, is the second book. Number 1, letting go ushers in greater alignment. Number 2, shifting from hopelessness to hope is a choice. No one can make that choice for us. We have to decide for ourselves. I'm going to let go. I'm going to shift from hopelessness to hope. And number 3, walking in courage conquers fear. It conquers fear. That question that I asked at the very end, what decision or action am I avoiding because of fear? So I want to leave you guys with that for tonight. And I just truly hope that as we wrap up the year, it is December 4th. And I just hope that as we wrap up this year, that people would truly just look at their year, look at their lives, look at their emotions, look. Take a moment to stop and do some inventory and figure out what you might be holding on to that it's time to let go of. So if you don't already have a copy of Release, Walking in Courage Conquers Fear, yes, 100%. And if you don't already have a copy of Release, definitely head over to Amazon. You can get your copies there. It's such an interesting time period. First, my website wasn't working, but one other thing that would prevent me from mailing books right now off of my personal website is the fact that Canada Post is on strike right now. So I'm just sending people over to Amazon to get their books, whether you happen to be in the United States, you're in Jamaica, you're in Canada, wherever you happen to be. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I hope that you guys got value. I really do hope that you guys got something from this live. In fact, let me know in the comments what you're taking away from this live, because I want to make sure that when I show up on live, you guys are taking something away that's actually able to be implemented. And while you guys are thinking, I want to share this this picture. It's a quote, actually, rather. So I saw it on someone's WhatsApp story yesterday. And you know those little tea bags that have a message written on the piece of paper? That's what it was. And she took a picture of it and then posted it on WhatsApp. And it says, the world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave with them still inside you. I'm going to read it again because I fumbled that. The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave with them still inside you. And so I commented on her WhatsApp status, and I said, I'm excited to see what gifts you decide to share with the world next year. And I sat with that comment for a little bit because I said to myself, I've actually known her for many years, and I actually don't know what amazing gifts God has placed on the inside of her because of the way that she's living. And so I didn't probe it. I didn't, be like, hey, so what are you going to do next year? It wasn't one of those, but I just hope that even my comment was able to cause her to think about what gifts are on the inside of me that I haven't yet shared with the world. Right? Because it's 2025 almost. And for many of us, there are things that God has given us to do that we haven't made a move on. He gave us the idea. We haven't made a move on it. He told us to write the book. We haven't written the book. He told us to launch the company. We haven't launched the company. We're an amazing hairstylist. We haven't told anyone that we can do hair. We have a beautiful gift for speaking, but we don't speak. We have an amazing mind for numbers, but yet we're not pursuing anything that would be of value to not just ourselves but the world, right? So every single person. So when I saw that quote last night, I was like, you know what? I want to share that. The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave with them still inside you. That's my encouragement for someone who's either watching tonight, who's going to watch it later. Release the gifts that God has placed on the inside of you to the world. Holding on is holding you back. And it's not just holding you back, it's holding back people who are supposed to be blessed by the gift that is on the inside of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments here. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap up this live now. But the announcement that I had is that, number one, I mentioned this before, the website is up and running. I'm so grateful because I was like, what is going on? My website has never been down in the whole time that I've had it. And then as soon as I launch Unshakable You, which is a step-by-step blueprint to help people reclaim resilience, confidence, come back stronger than ever, as soon as I launch it, the website is down. So the website is officially up. And I'm going to put the link in. You're so welcome. You are so very welcome. Just one of the comments here. It says, you're beautiful inside and out. Thank you for doing this live. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me on the live. So the announcement is in honor of the fact that it's 1 year since release has been put out. If you head over to the website, the very first person who types in the promo code, let it go, all caps, LETITGO, first person who types in that promo code will be able to get Unshakable You absolutely free. That will just be my gift to someone. So again, I will put that in the comments for whoever sees it, or perhaps someone's on live, but I'm going to put all of the information in the bio so you guys can head over there and get your copies. I'll also put it in my IG story, and whoever is able to head over to the website and put that promo code in first, you guys will get a free copy of Unshakable You. So it is now available. I'm super excited. I know there's like multiple things. There's this book, there's Unshakable You that is now available, but 100% the devil is a liar. He was trying. I was like, what is going on with this website? It was down. Canada Post is on strike, but you know what? There's workarounds for everything. And I was actually going to let everyone know, hey, if you would like a copy of Unshakable You, you know, here's the information, here's where you can send your payment, and I'll just email it to you. I was gonna just do it manually, but the website is back up and running, so I will not have to do that, which saves me a lot of time. But have an amazing evening, everyone. And I just pray that as we enter into 2025, that we will go light. We will not be carrying things that we don't need to carry. We will not be holding on to mindsets we don't need. We will distance ourselves from the places, the people, the perspectives that God has asked us to, so that we can truly be free to run in 2025. This is not a prophetic word. However, 2025, there's something very special about 2025, and I'm extremely excited to see what God is going to do in 2025. And I promise you, you're going to need the lessons that you have learned up until this point. They are going to take you through 2025 and beyond. So let's just, drop the heavy weights and the sins and all the things that easily beset us, make it hard for us to run with patience this race that has been set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. That is a wrap, y'all. Have an amazing night. Thank you for joining me, and congrats to whoever gets a free copy of Unshakable You. For everyone else, the promo code will be available for 24 hours. Not the promo code, but the discounted price will be available for 24 hours. And then after that, the price will go up. I had a reader tell me that, an editor, someone who was looking at it, it's too good to give away for $7. And I was just like, I'm just trying to make it accessible to the people, but we will figure out the price. But for the next 24 hours, it is just going to be $7 Canadian. So go get a copy of Unshakable You. God wants to remind you that what happened is not the end. You can bounce back even stronger than ever. I'm Stephanie, and thank you so much for joining me.